Mo, it's such a pleasure to be here with you. I'm gonna start like this. I'm so happy to be with you. Everybody likes the Mo Show, and everybody love your stand-up. So, how did you transition from a stand-up to making a show like this, and even get green light second season? And I'm sure we'll get into third.
Well, storytelling has always been in my blood and something that I just felt came to me very natural. So it was from stand-up comedy, which is a storytelling tradition, and being like, with my background and being Arabs, like it's part of our culture. We have such rich stories and backgrounds, and then doing stand-up and finding that art form and transitioning into television was pretty seamless for me because it wasn't something that I just did overnight. The opening scene of the series, which ended up in being in episode 7, in the first season, where my mom is getting us out and Elvis Presley's playing in the background. That's all right, mama. That's all right now. And just having that great juxtaposition of a classic American song with an Arab family fleeing war in Kuwait. That was the first scene I wrote, was in like December of 2014. So it's something that I prepped for and I was obsessed with, and I wanted to make sure that I was ready for when the moment came. And thankfully, after I did the first special, The Vagabond, which is, just fully expressing where I came from and explaining where I came from and what I'm about, what I had to go through. And it was a great starting point to go into the series of Mo.
That's where I actually first saw you, The Vagabond. And the reason I ask about the transition from a stand-up comedian to a show creator, because not every stand-up comedian is in Hollywood. Not every stand-up comedian is working as an actor, making movies and stuff like this.
Sure.
But you managed to do this. But not only as an actor, like you even wrote your stuff, you executive produced this, and you starred this. And I wanted to know
I
from
directed.
yeah, a few episodes.
Yes.
No, but Mo, you're a storyteller regardless, no matter what you do, and it's your story anyway. No one knows better than you. The question here is like, how much of your story is fiction and how much of it is real? Because for me, it's kind of like documentary trying to be show.
Sure. No, I can't exactly tell you 50-50 or this and that. I can definitely say that, especially season 2, but I would say like a nice combo of season 1. Like I never had a drug addiction, and from season 1, like I never had like a codeine addiction or anything like that. I just thought that added a layer of sophistication to the character and allowed me to tap into a performance that I've, challenged myself and experienced something and try to display that. And challenge myself as an actor, and that was why I chose to go that route. And it's part of the Southern culture, and the as far as codeine is concerned, or lean. But there's certain things that are just copy paste that are exactly that happened in my life that no one else could write but the divine. Like you just can't rewrite something that's perfect. So for instance, I'll just give you an example. In episode 7 of season 1, when the judge knew my father before he passed away, and he was curious
Oh my God.
where he was. That's a real story. That's exactly what happened. I know, man. That's
My God.
exactly.
And the scene when your dad and the video, and when I saw the actual video,
Yeah.
I cried.
Yeah, bro,
heart out.
I get emotional thinking about it right now. So that's 100% accurate.
This one is like
The call to prayer in episode 8 in season 2 is 100% what I experienced, where I went to the mosque in my family's village for the first time.
oh wow.
And, after I just did the call to prayer, after being forced to do the call to prayer, because I was so nervous, this man comes in and he's so upset about who did it. Who did the call to prayer? And I'm so angry. And then he realized who I was and who my father was, and he explained to me it was my dad who installed the microphone system and the entire electronics in the
Wow.
in the mosque. It shattered me inside. And the thing is that I wanted, like I did in episode 8, I wanted to capture the moment of what I felt like after I did the call to prayer, and after I found out that my father installed it, where I hid from my cousin and I just started weeping. I was happy and also very sad
Proud
at the
and
same
the same
time,
time as well.
and just like kind of having gratitude to the divine of like getting to experience such a thing. And additionally, like the video camera itself, it was after 30 years, of thinking this video camera is lost. And I had 2 days before, it was actually my aunt in real life, not my uncle, that had the video camera. She's the one who brought it to me, and I questioned 2 days prior, like, man, I wonder what happened to this video camera. And 2 days later, my aunt brings it to me with a stack of VHS tapes. And that night, so this is an amazing part of the story, actually. So that night, I was curious if it worked, so I plugged it in, and I was watching all the footage through the viewfinder and the video camera. And the man that was filming me was Adi Khalifa, who plays my cousin in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Once I've totally forgot that Adi's the one who filmed me. So when I was recreating the scene of me discovering the footage in episode 8, Adi looked at me and goes, remember, I started filming you when you were discovering the footage. And I was like, oh my God, you did. And I looked it up right away. I found the footage in my phone in the cloud, and I sent it to my editor, and I said, listen, look through this footage.
Yeah.
Please put it at the end of the credits when you do your cut, because the editor will do her cut, and then I go in and do my director's cut. And it was extraordinary when I saw it. And Lauren, who edited episode 8, did such an extraordinary job that the ending itself, that last minute of the flashes of everything, and then going into the doc footage, I didn't touch. She did such an immaculate job with that I was weeping. I was with my wife. We were watching it together, and I remember seeing that footage come on, and I get emotional thinking about it.
I wasn't there. It's not my dad. I wasn't there,
Yeah.
but I cried so much after that scene, and I seen the real footage.
Yeah. I feel like if you don't cry at the end of it or feel something significant where you at least get water-eyed, you're like dead inside.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm like, how do you feel nothing? How? Yeah. You should get some therapy. That's what I think.
Yeah.
No, it was really extraordinary and so special to be able to pull something off like this.
I think this is my favorite thing of the 2 seasons. And you selling falafel in Mexico.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I love them. I love how the show touches on you being American, being Arab, and also in the same time being Texan.
Yes.
Which is a different identity within the identity.
My whole thing is trying to be timeless, timely and timeless, something you can watch forever and you can enjoy and feel something and laugh and cry with me. Like, that's the intent.
To find the comedy in such a tragedy and turn it from situation like this that happen in your life for people to be entertained and laughed at.
Yes.
And you still excel at doing it very well, it's not easy.
It was really important to me, though, like, to first of all show generational displacement. It's not something that it just like they left from the West Bank and arrived in Houston. No, like when I fled the Gulf War in Kuwait, I was 9 years old and I thought everything was fine. I didn't know even I was stateless, right? Mm-hmm. So when the Gulf War happened and all the realities came flooding to what my situation actually is, it put me in a different mind frame, right? So we ended up in Houston, Texas, and just immediately I knew I was a fish out of water. And even when I started doing stand-up early on in my career, you would get these questions quite often on the road, like, you don't look Arab. Are you sure you're Arab? Like, these are common questions.
Yeah.
So that was really, a big thing early on in my career, and I really thought that it's a huge hole that's missing in American culture to show this different side. And it's not just the Palestinian perspective, but also the, those who are displaced, those that had to flee their countries for a better life.
What kind of challenges did you face bringing Mo's story to life?
Just the stress of everything that's going on in the world and making sure that I execute something that people will be proud of. And I felt like, we humanized something in a time where it was almost felt dangerous to talk about. So to be able to pull something like that off with everything that's going on, where people can have some empathy and some understanding.
Not just one time, twice.
Not just one time, but twice, yes. But really, really a whole nother level in season 2 because of what everything is going on and the fact that the family did get to go back to the West Bank, get to go back to Palestine. Like, we had to go. We have to go there, and we have to show what it was like to be there. And for me, it was just you know, it was my experience, and it's through my experience that I channeled when I took my mom and my brother there in 2016, and my mom was able to see her sisters for the first time in 37 years and see her be with her grandparent at her parents' house, my grandparents' house, and seeing how emotional that is, and finding my grandfather's passport. That's all real, you know. That whole experience of episode 8 is essentially a copy paste of what my real life is. So
Wow, that's amazing.
yeah, it just you know, it was a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I'm so proud of it. So incredibly proud of it.
3 quick questions.
Yes, 3 quick questions.
Matt Reef,
Matt Rife, yeah.
how was it in there?
He was great. He was so
It's
lovely.
amazing, no?
Yeah, he was so lovely. He really was excited to be part of the show. He wanted to do it, and you know, he filmed his part in Malta. It was so nice of him to come all the way out for that one day to shoot that. So he was great. He was great. Ralph Barbosa was also great.
Your
just
cast
wonderful.
is all a stellar for me. Everybody,
Thank you.
Shireen, you know,
Thank you.
Farah, everybody,
Thank
we
you.
love them.
Thank you.
The acting in the show itself, without the identity, without the cause,
Sure.
without the show itself is entertaining. I have a lot of people, non-Arab, talking, have you seen Mo? Have you seen? Of course I have seen.
Yeah.
I've seen Mo himself.
Yeah.
That's what he don't know.
I have him. He's my boy.
Okay, he's my
He's
boy.
my
We
boy.
follow each other on Instagram, you know. So the second question, you and Rami Youssef, one of like the best Arab example for me in America, especially in the last 20 years.
It's really, you know, we really have to pay homage to all those that came before us. And just because you haven't seen them particularly in American television doesn't mean we don't, you know, acknowledge like who I've been inspired by as well. It's not just American artists that have influenced me or my personal family members, or my father or my mother. Like the first play I ever saw in my entire life was in 1987. My father was a little boy. He took us to a play in Cairo. We saw What Sayyid al-Shaggal,
Oh, I love
Adil
it.
Imam,
That's
who was an
my favorite.
iconic,
Wow.
you know, Egyptian actor. He's
Comedy
he's a
monster.
comedy
Legend.
monster, legend, complete icon. And I got to see that when I was, you know, a little boy. I was like 6 or 5, 6 years old, and I knew what I was seeing was special. Like I absolutely knew that this was extraordinary. Although that I didn't follow everything, but the physicality and the timing, I understood very well. So we have to like acknowledge those that have really, really, you know, paved the way for us before we even, for me, migrated to the States and found stand-up as an art form, which is an indigenous art form to America. So when I found stand-up, I fell in love immediately as a 9-year-old kid, and I knew that's what I was going to do. But also remember those that truly inspired us, inspired our parents.
But you are
know,
inspiring
the
other
show
people now.
Ghawar. Yes.
No, like
No,
you're
that's
inspired to
beautiful.
the young generation.
No, don't get me wrong.
everywhere.
I know that I'm inspiring people, and it's beautiful, and I get those interactions on a regular basis, and on my comedy tours, and understanding that I did something that historical in nature, and that's a you know, a massive blessing, and I take that very, very seriously, and it's an enormous responsibility. In addition to that, I'm not negating it, and just in addition, I always think it's so important to like truly show some appreciation, because that inspired me in the show, like in season 1 when I had, you know, Yamo Ya Sitt Al Habaib Yamo, which is you know, from the show Ghawar, and you know, I remember seeing my parents watch that show and that scene in particular, and it's one of 2 times that I've ever seen my dad actually cry. And I knew in that moment that was a significant thing. Like I knew it, and I knew how so much depth that song had, and the meaning that it had behind it. Not only did I use the song in season 1, but I also do a callback to it in season 2 when my mom and my sister are on the dock in episode 7, when my sister says, you know, the world is not enough for you. You're worth the world. You're not even, the world is not enough for you. Only God is enough for you. And that's from the lyrics of that song, so of Yamo. So, you know, it was, again, tipping of the hat, and I think it's super important to acknowledge the inspirations that we had both here in America and the States, and especially those overseas.
Mo, I loved you as a writer, as an actor, creator, director of the show. And one last thing, I wanted to know like your relationship with Rami Youssef.
Me and him hang out all the time. We have Capri Suns. We just have Capri Sun dates. and we just walk on the beach on a regular basis, holding hands. It's really sweet.
I love it.
No,
That's TMZ.
TMZ update. No, that's my brother, man. It's my brother. We inspire each other.
You worked in his show. He
Yes,
worked with you in that show.
of course. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to have that kind of relationship. And whenever he has a question, he calls me. Whenever I have a question, if I have something on my mind, I ask him. It's lovely.
Does he feel intimidated because you're bigger than him? Say the truth, Mom.
Yes,
Yeah,
he does.
I know,
he
me
does.
too,
It's
bro.
a work.
Me too.
It's a
Is
work in
there room for
progress.
another Egyptian there?
It's hard. I have a one Egyptian maximum.
Oh my God, there's one Egyptian per package.
No.
All right, I need to go find myself
So many Egyptian families, so many people. I'm blessed, most people have fans. I think Jay Electronics said this. You have a lot of fans, I have a lot of family. And that's how I feel, truly. I have a lot of family, and it's a massive blessing.
Brother, nothing less than you deserve.
Habibi,
You've done the work. You've made us all proud. You made
Thank
yourself
you so
proud.
much. Thank you.
And thank you for everything. Come on, give us a
Thank
hug,
you.
man.
Habibi.
Come on.
Habibi.
Well, good to see you, man.
Oh, man. Good to see you, too. Thank you so much.
Come on.
How's my mic technique? Was it solid?
Very good. I tried.
I'm very sorry that my pinky knuckle is so ashy. Really, I'm really frustrated with it.
مو خلاص اديلهم حاجة بالعربي. السلام عليكم. احنا معانا مو أهلا وسهلا.
أهلا وسهلا هلا فيكم. إن شاء الله نشوفكم قريبا. إن شاء الله كلكم بخير. أهلين.
حبايب القلب.
محمد عامر. حبيت أقعد عشان هو يحس إنه هو أكبر مني وأطول مني هيك أعطيه شوي
قيمة.
لازم أعطيه شوية نفس.
اديله قيمة بدل ما اديله
أيوة.
شتيمة. Look, if I sit down, I become so small.
مية يلا.
You see,
حبيبي
حبيبي.
الله يخليك.
You're the man.